Go about life through honesty in sharing your soul. And don't be afraid for the thinking voice that always calls for another means than staying in the moment. Go for the loving sound of your conscience. It's there where God resides forever. So I come to the conclusion that there are as many gods than there are souls on this planet.
This is a story about a not-so-ordinary human being, destined to create, in colors and words, an artist of life, a messenger of freedom, an inspirator. Both art critics and collectors describe his work as a feast for the eye, love, and a mind-altering experience. His life's work, a proclamation for freedom. Within his creative freedom, he pleads for an altruistic and free global society, and for each of us to be free who we truly are. A master in any medium, his body of works exists of paintings, sculptures, drawings, flower art, performances, poetry, books, and even tapestries. His artistic journey, he describes it as confrontation. The confrontation with the scope of the medium, with his own emotions and renewal in complete creative freedom. When the spectator is free to let the artwork confront them with their purest emotions and grant the work enough time, the work will communicate most authentically, and then the viewer is able to truly experience the work. No titles. They are of no added value to his works, and according to him, they even destroy the work's expression and the personal interpretation of the spectator. And it is this that makes an artwork a masterpiece. Born and raised in the land of Van Gogh in 1953, it was his global mindset and urge to go into the world that turned him into the artist he is today. Throughout his life, he traveled to share his visions and build his dreams, leaving a trail of art that reaches from Nagasaki, Japan to Los Angeles, USA. After kickstarting his career in flower art and having lived and worked in Taiwan, it was not until the early 1980s that he decided to dedicate his life to art and to move to New York. In the 80s and 90s, he lived in the major cities of North and South America, creating his work and commissioning for some high-end collectors and corporates. He was making art, making friends, and making love. After coming back in the late 90s, he experienced great success in his solo shows back home and decided to open up his own gallery in the city center of Amsterdam. Since then, collectors from all over traveled to this inspirational wonderland to collect one of his works, broadening his trail of art to all the corners of the world. His name was overheard by some high-end critics. Auction house Sotheby's showed interest in working with him. With his altruistic worldview, he shared a large selection of works for national and international charity auctions on a regular basis. Sotheby's organized a grand retrospective solo show. Art historian and former business development director Sotheby's, Mr. Max Hemelrath, describes his body of works as vast and significant and beyond any ism. Hotels, hospitals, museums, medium and global enterprises, private and even diplomatic collectors complement the artist by featuring his works in their collection.
Het gaat over het collectief. Het gaat niet over Harry, het gaat over het collectief, het samen zijn. Dat is onze gasten eventjes een goede dag komen zeggen. Daar gaat het mij om. En de rest, dat komt allemaal wel.
It is his spirit and his broad life experience that makes him an inspirator to many. 1997. Harry was diagnosed with 2 simultaneous life-threatening diseases. His doctors had given up on him. Conquering this has taught Harry to live in the moment, free of all expectations. This state of mind, the lessons learned through his international life, and the battles he has fought all come together in his artworks, where Harry's identity and soul are represented on the canvas. Every artwork is a self-reflection. It is a mirror image of the artist, a diary of his soul. This is him today. Creating, sharing, and communicating in freedom. Since the artist has no agenda, no watch, and no smartphone, nobody knows when and if he'll be in his studio again. Though currently, it is the most likely place to find him. His name is Harry van Gestel.
Yes,